On tonight's show, we have visual artist and illustrator Cbabi Bayoc. And now for your host, KoolKard. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 20. Man, I'm hitting a milestone, a benchmark today, man. This is lovely. Episode 20. I thank everybody who's been rocking with me from 1 to now. Man, it's been a journey. The journey continues, and it's a beautiful thing, man. I just really appreciate everybody showing their support and the love, man. Everybody that likes my stuff on Instagram, my little weird little commercials that I do. Everything, man. I just appreciate it if you shared it. If you even peeked in for 2 seconds, I appreciate you. Yeah, man. But welcome. Episode 20. We're gonna keep it going. For anybody out there who's watching now, that this is their first time, I just want to let you know that this show is all about bringing value to you. I just want to bring value to you. Bring people on here, man. I try to give them a platform so they can be transparent with what they've gone through, the struggles that they may have on their journey, or the breakthroughs, the successes, all that. And I'm hoping that it can add some value to your life and what you have going and some of your goals, aspirations, and dreams. So hopefully there's a good takeaway and you can get some value out of this, man. That's what it's for. But tonight, this is new for me. Tonight, I'm interviewing a visual artist, because I've had plenty of artists on here, but it's all been like music, stuff like that, promoters, spoken word, but I've never had a visual artist. So this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna be learning, so I'm gonna be a sponge tonight with the questions I'm asking, because I want to know, because I don't know much about art, so to speak. I know how to see it and look at it, but maybe tonight I'll look at it from a different perspective, a different angle, and learn more about the culture, because that's what I plan to do for you as well. So hopefully we can just grow together tonight. All right. I got Cbabi Bayoc. All right. Visual artist, illustrator, great stuff, great work. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring him on in. Let's give him his just due, man. I'm excited about this, and I hope you are too. Cbabi.
What's happening?
What's happening, man? It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you on here. Hey, can you turn your turn your speaker down just a little bit? I can hear myself echoing.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Not too much though, because I don't want you to be drowned out. I think that's good. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Cool. But yeah, man, welcome to the show. This is episode 20, so this is a milestone for me. So I appreciate you joining me tonight and coming on here to give us some knowledge, man, about art and culture and where it's going and how you're involved and all that, man. So welcome.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. So we're going to jump right in. So you are a visual artist and illustrator. I read a little bit of your bio. I know you went to Grambling earlier on. Are you trained? Did you train there in arts? Did you take art classes? Like, how did all this come about for you? How long have you been doing this?
Yeah, pretty much been taking art classes. So I started there in 92, and I already had an associate's in art. And so I did 3 more years there at Grambling. And graduated and just jumped right into the waters, man. Just went for it.
Wow. So okay. So I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I know that I ain't gonna say your real name because you changed your name, so it is your real name. But Cbabi was not your birth given name.
Nope. And
it was a collective effort, I guess you could say, by you and your wife to make your name stand for something, like and make it something worthwhile and a legacy type of thing, right?
Yes, sir.
So can you expound on that?
Yeah, so I went in to Grambling. I was born Clifford Bernard Miskell Jr. When I started doing art in junior college, I started signing my work. My art name was going to be Cbabi.
Okay.
And then when I got to Grambling, I didn't think Cbabi was black and strong enough. And I was taking a Swahili class, and I liked the way they put the letters and the words together, so I decided to change Cbabi to Cbabi. So I changed the Y to an I,
Mm.
And then I decided to give each letter a meaning, and so I came up with Creative Black Artists Battling Ignorance.
Wow.
And then when I did that, I just took it a step further and said, I'm gonna wait till, I get married and we'll create a last name together so the kids can have a name for mom and dad, not just dad.
So the ignorance part, what is that? Where is that coming from?
I know it sounds deep, but it just means we grow and learn something new every day,
Okay.
So hopefully we're always battling ignorance, trying to grow and get better.
Wow, that's dope though. It
Yep.
sounds deep, but it's real
It works
though.
great for kids, man. I go into school, man. The kids never forget my name, so
Not at all. I'll never forget your name.
yeah.
So how has you changing your name and the significance of what it means and stands for? How has that influenced or impacted the way you create your art?
Yeah, when I changed it, I said I wanted it to remind me of when people said my name, remind me of what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think honestly, I changed it back in '97, but really, I think these last probably 6 to 8 years is when I've really felt the impact and really felt the name take shape.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
start.
so a lot of significant projects have happened in the last 8 years.
So you would say you basically started branding yourself, or the
Pretty
branding
much,
has
yeah,
taken a life of its own, pretty much through the work, right?
absolutely.
Okay, and I so you're strong. I don't want to say your strong points, but you pinpoint like bold lines, color, and funk, right?
Yeah,
So with that said, have you coined a name or a phrase that represents your brand or your work?
yeah, the funk.
The funk. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all I can come up with right now. Man. I get asked all the time, "What do you do? What's your style?" So I just say I like to. I just put that special sauce on it, man.
Okay. All right. So for me too, and I kind of know, but people who are watching who have never really like dove into art, how does an artist like yourself? Well, I don't want to say how. What are some of the ways that you can make a good living being a visual artist or illustrator?
Oh man, everything from portraits to creating logos, drawing tattoo designs, tattooing. Um, yeah, illustrating children's books, doing coloring books, making stickers. I mean, it's nowadays it's endless.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just got to think outside the box, but there are plenty of avenues.
And so this is what I want to touch on this because everybody knows about, doing digital graphics and illustrating books and stuff like that. But when you put that canvas there and you get the painting, I think that's where some of us get lost in the art. I don't know if people respect it enough or they even take the time to look at it, appreciate it for what it is. Like it's a piece of art, it's a piece of work. It's coming from nothing. You know what I mean? Idea or inspiration or something you've seen or inspired or you were inspired by. So I think people don't take the appreciation or appreciate it enough and respect it enough so that it is kind of pushed out there into the mainstream like other art forms are, like music and dancing and acting and stuff like that, But
Right.
I do understand that visual art drives culture and is inspired by culture. So here's something for visual art, right? Would you say that it is one of the few expressions that is kind of universal because it doesn't require the person who is being affected by it to be able to speak a certain language, to be able to read, to be able to write?
I see where you're going, but yeah, I definitely think, yeah, when you put a painting out there, yeah, where people come to it from wherever they come from. So what they see on the canvas, their life experience will interpret what they see and how they take it in. So yeah, it's something that you can put out there, and yeah, it can translate to anybody if they connect with it.
Yeah.
That's the tricky part is
If they can connect.
it's everybody's not your audience.
Right. How does
That's a hard thing to learn, especially artists, especially when you're hungry.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, it's not gonna stick and it's not gonna connect with everybody.
Yeah.
And I see that you'll create pieces while artists or spoken artists, spoken word artists will perform, or musicians to sing or play the instruments. What does that do for you? Does that like give you a rhythm? Does it give you inspiration? Does it make
it makes me
things like
it helps me perform and feel like I'm performing as well. Because I paint really well in public.
Okay.
And so just the idea of just feeling like I'm putting on a show helps me be efficient and execute without, for lack of a better word, fiddle daddling, around and not just being into it. But I like to have people around me when I work, because I work really well in public. So that's all that was really translating, and just trying to show some love to some other art forms and just showing how we can do something cool together.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I got a clip I want to show too for the audience so they can understand what I'm talking about here.
Absolutely.
On up real quick and get you going. Yeah. I could dig that, man.
Yeah. Real dope.
I could dig that. That's dope. Man. And so I think that because when you say urban culture, well, let's say, okay, when people in the urban community say culture, most people are gonna think like hip hop, R&B, dancing, whatever else, but they don't think art.
Right.
Do you feel like a lot of people in the urban community are ignorant to visual arts, that type of visual art?
I don't know, because I'm dialed into Instagram real tough, and I'm impressed with a lot of work that I'm seeing come out. Street art is huge right now, so there's a lot more art in the public that's not just what people are doing on canvas, people are doing on walls now.
Right.
It's not so widespread that everybody's getting touched by it, but hopefully that's the goal, to keep it spreading, because I think it just needs to happen, because we can't rely on the schools. I think kids just need to see it on a regular basis. So if it takes artists going out there putting it out, then that's what it is. But like we were talking earlier, definitely a cultural thing. Yeah, kids have no interest in going to the art museum because they don't see themselves.
Yeah.
So that's a struggle. Or if the school themselves not taking them to the school because they don't have the budget. There's so many reasons, that we just don't have it in, just our daily life. But it's definitely a cultural thing. So I don't think anybody's intentionally ignorant. I think they just don't know. And when they hear art, they hear being broke. So everybody's wondering what they can do to make money, and that usually the last thing they think of is about painting and drawing.
With kids, it's all about the media or somebody that's influential making it look cool to them.
Absolutely.
What would it take? Like, can you got any ideas? Like, what would it take to make it become cool, like in the mainstream, to make art or being an artist or just enjoying and taking in art become cool?
I think kids just need to see people executing it. So I love that what's happening around the country and around the world. You had these mural festivals and all that. That kind of stuff needs to come to the city, so kids can see artists executing on walls and having a good time, music popping. Yeah. Just to get that bug in it. You just got to make it fancy, make it fresh.
I think it needs more media attention. Also,
absolutely,
it definitely needs more media attention, more respect from the media, the people that can move it, and touch the masses with it. Now, I will say this, because of social media and live streaming, when you go, like say yourself, you go to those things, I think you should pull out your camera and go live.
That's right. Let people know you're there.
Yeah,
that's right.
I think more people should do that. It should be like a coalition of artists. That when you go, hey, we're gonna live stream this thing as much as possible and get more people involved and let them see what we're doing, see the work that we're putting in.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So people can just get a respect for it, and like you said, they're not exposed, because I know I see a lot of pieces and I'm like, man, that's cool. I like that. I would hang that in my house. I would like to own that. I would like to see how it's created, but if these kids are not even seeing it, how do they know about it to want to, Yeah.
And then you're really going to blow them out the water when you tell them how much you want for it. Like, then that's a whole another conversation.
Right. So, and I think like, I know I had like arts and crafts in school and stuff like that. I don't even know if they're still offering arts the arts in school? Do you know? Or they have
Oh
like
yeah, definitely.
okay,
Especially in the county. I mean, not that many. I've been to a few schools, mostly black, that still have art, but it's usually schools that kids got to get bused to, and if they're gonna get a real dope art and music program.
yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just the way it is right now. It's that's just what it is.
And I'm hoping that they're taking them on field trips to the museums, festivals, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if they can do the festivals. That's kind of too many people.
Yeah.
That's a liability. But I would hope that they're taking them to, museums and just kind of diving in wholeheartedly so that they can get that experience. Because I think it's needed. How is it for you? Like you said, when you visit kids, they're kind of like mesmerized by your name. They never forget it. Like how do they receive it when you approach them or you're speaking to them, and what is your angle? Like how do you engage them?
Well, I usually engage them just pulling up with my supplies, and then the subjects that I'm painting. Like the piece behind me, I painted at a high school while the kids were there, and usually all the murals and things that I do in schools, I like to do it during the school day.
Okay.
So the kids can actually watch me create it and ask me questions.
Right.
And they ask everything. They ask how I started, how much I make, I mean, why I do it, how often I do it. I mean, they ask all of it. So
right.
I get to just be straight with them and tell them that I love that I myself, and I get to do everything that I love every day.
Yeah. And I think the good
so I just
thing,
try to make it appealing, just on a basic level.
And I think the good thing is, if you're in the inner city, you're creating things that you're creating art that looks like them. They can identify with it and relate to
Absolutely.
it. So then maybe you can draw them in a little bit easier than say they in a textbook they're seeing someone from another race, in the picture. And not that that's bad, you want to be diversified and stuff like that. But I think that just to connect with them, if they haven't ever seen anything, the first experience, they're seeing something that they can relate to and connect with, and then they'd probably be more apt to like, oh man, I want to look into this and kind of,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, see themselves being glorified and just loved on. Yeah, it definitely touches the heart and just piques their interest.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely. Do you have any of your work in galleries or anything like that? Do you do any expositions?
I have a show right now, but that's really the only gallery space I have my work in. Like I'm mostly online and getting more on the streets. Like I have a big project I'm working on now. Mm-hmm. I'm doing covering up windows in a good section, a good visible section of St. Louis.
Okay.
With a lot of kids who congregate up to school from that high school I mentioned. So
yeah,
I'm really looking forward to putting that up. But yeah, haven't really been strong on the gallery game. I've been really using Facebook and Instagram to make my career.
Okay, so that's how someone, if they wanted to buy some art from you, reach out to you on Facebook and Instagram?
Yep, they do that, and my new website's being built right now. So yeah, that's how they get me.
Okay, will it be your name, the website, so they'll know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Cbabi Bayoc Originals.com.
All right, so you guys, you make sure you go check him out on Facebook. I have everything down in the description too, so you can click the link, go straight to his Facebook, go straight to his IG. So make sure you follow him. Go check out some of his work. He does have his work on IG. I know I haven't looked at the Facebook, but I do see it on IG. So yeah, check it out, man. Support it. I don't even want to say black art. Just support art. Support art. But you can start
there.
Yeah,
I like all kind of work myself, man. So yeah, I look at everything.
Yeah. Where do you draw your inspiration from? Like, does it just hit you, or?
You know what? Honestly, everything from a good photo online. I see some crushed popcorn outside the grocery store, outside the gas station. There's times where I really can't turn it off. Like it doesn't take much to inspire me. I can just see a mark a certain way, and it'll make my eye think of something different, and I'll take it to canvas and see what happens. But I get inspired by. I'm seeing something every day, all day. Like my antenna never goes down, man. Like I'm always ready for an idea to come to my brain.
Okay. From a technical standpoint, would you say that you have a style of painting? A style of from a technical, say if we were learning from a textbook and they said, oh, this is that style and that style, would you say you have a particular style?
I mean, I started kind of, I'm terrible with all the terms. I would say more expressionistic for me is close to what you consider a hybrid between realism and cartoon caricature, like
Okay.
making characters, but using a lot of light and dimension. So that's a weird way to try to describe it, but that's kind of where I go. Like I started at Six Flags as a caricature artist, so that informed the way I
Okay.
can animate my faces.
Right.
But then I
Right.
really love pencil drawing, so I'm bringing a lot of shading, and so I'm a combination of all kind of stuff in my work.
Okay. Who do you admire? I don't want to use that word admire, but like
Oh yeah,
some of the
like
people of the
peers my
past.
age, my first go-tos are Frank Morrison, and Frank. I think it's fair to say is a study or student of Ernie Barnes from the Good Times show
Okay.
back in the day.
All
Ernie
right.
Barnes was the artist that did this work. So Frank Morrison is like the reincarnation of that brother, like he to a whole new ridiculous contemporary level. So I really love looking at his work, and he's on hustle mode, and he's putting a lot of good stuff out.
Is there
Kadir Nelson is another cat my age range that is doing his thing. But then honestly, after that, I'm on Instagram, and I'm always finding somebody new every day. So those would be my two main ones, like that are here living and breathing, that people can touch and connect with,
okay?
that I really dig.
What about Dead and Gone? Some of the
Dead
great.
and Gone, my
Yeah.
first go to is John Biggers, brother from Houston, mural artist.
Does he have
Uh,
anything that I would know, or that we would just be like, oh, I know what that piece is?
yeah, I don't know if anybody would really know him. I mean, people in Houston might, because that's where a lot of his work is.
Okay.
Um, you got Diego Rivera from, people know Frida Kahlo. She's a cult figure right now. But so the cat that she was with, you know, he's another one who really inspired me early on.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So when you're dead and gone, hopefully that's no time soon.
That's the hope.
How do you want your work to exemplify you as the artist?
I would say somebody who painted from his heart and connected in a way that allowed people to see themselves in there, and they just got inspired to do whatever it was to make them great by watching me do my work. Like, and more than anything, like I think painting family and fatherhood images hopefully become synonymous with my name as well.
Okay. And how do you,
Specifically, Black fathers.
yeah, you had that since you mentioned it, I was gonna touch on that later, but you had the 365-day Black Father.
Days with Dad. Yep.
Yeah, how did that come about? Like, tell us about that. I thought that was pretty cool. What I read of it.
Yeah, I started that in 2012. So 2011, I was coming off an unsuccessful try at doing art fairs,
Mhm.
and so I wanted to figure out a way to earn money every day and come up with a subject that I could paint and something that I could use to attract people. And so I came up with, doing a father as my subject, doing Black fathers. Well, at first it wasn't just Black fathers; it was fathers.
Okay.
I just kind of assumed because it was me, that's what it was. So I didn't really specify, but
Yeah.
as I got into the project, it became apparent as everybody was asking, and folks were telling me like, I think you need to just focus on Black fathers.
Okay.
That was hard because people who love my work are from all type of communities. So
Right.
it was a tough one to email people and say, I would love to, but I'm gonna have to wait. I can't right now. I was like, Black children need to see
Right.
that there are men out there doing what they need to do. So that's kind of how that kicked off, man. And it just took like wildfire, man, and it just literally, honestly changed my life and changed the way people look at me as an artist.
That's dope. So basically, you were showing Black fathers in all types of roles, and
Yep.
yeah.
It was all portraits of just dads and their children, no moms. There was only 2 paintings that had females, but it was all about also combating the idea that we babysit when we're alone with our children. Like, no, it's quality time with your child.
Yeah.
It's not babysitting.
And most of all,
There.
we're there in their lives.
Exactly. 365 days a year.
Exactly. Exactly. We put in the work too, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And
So that's really when my name, I think, started kicking off for me. I mean, people had projects before that they connect with, but that definitely put me on a whole nother level.
okay. Would you say that your art, if you could only pick one, what would you say your art inspires, teaches, entertains, or promotes forward thinking?
Ooh.
You can only pick one.
Inspires.
Inspires. Why?
Woo, tough questions, man. I don't think about myself, man.
What'd you say?
I said I don't think about myself like this. I'd say inspires just because people are seeing me have fun, and I think they want that in their own life, and not just the way I paint, but also just like using the platforms to let them physically see me working, like just having a good time. I think the subjects and my personality allow them to see that they can. This is a way you can live. Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
You can live your passion.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I learned actually when I was working a 9 to 5, and an opportunity came my way, and I just I took that leap of faith. I jumped out there and quit my job, and I started doing some other things, entrepreneur wise, and create my own check, right?
Yep.
And that thing kind of hit the wall and fell, but I was still out there, right? I was still out there. But what I learned that you cannot see while you're in a cubicle or in that workspace is how you are able, because now you're at a bird's eye view, right? So now you're able to soar and look down and figure things out so that you can continue to provide for yourself and your family. It's like you cannot explain it to someone who is at a 9 to 5 who is afraid to jump out there. You can't explain it. You can only learn this and gain the knowledge and the confidence and the know-how through the experience of just putting yourself out there and saying and knowing that if I don't do it, it's not going to get done.
Period.
You know what I mean?
That's right. Period.
So you can live out your dreams. You just have to really put yourself out there and be uncomfortable, because it wasn't easy and it wasn't comfortable. But I got it done. I figured it out.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about. You can live out your dreams. It's not always going to be comfortable. You got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, be pushed to the limit. But trust me, the opportunity to survive and to provide and maintain is there.
Absolutely.
It's there.
Absolutely. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what that 365 did for me. Like, it started with one thing, but really it was the best face painting class I could have ever had in my life, because I was every day, all day, nonstop, just cranking them out. And even though I didn't love all of them, I learned how to sculpt the face. So now portraits, it's all good. Even when they give me a challenge, like I can go 10 rounds with it, and I'm gonna win.
Yep. That's dope. You had a stint working in the music industry too, right?
No, I never worked in the music industry. I just did a couple good covers that blessed to have. It's crazy because I've only done three, 4, 5, but they've been some real prominent ones that people are still connected to heavily, man. So I've been blessed with that.
Cool. You did like rap pages, right? I read that rap pages.
When I was working at Six Flags, doing the caricatures. I knew I wasn't going to go back the next year because I just wasn't digging it like that.
Yeah.
And I was seeing people illustrating magazines, so I created a portfolio and I sent it to a cat that used to be at Grambling when I was there, and he was at Rap Pages. Okay. So I sent him the portfolio, him and some others, but he's the one that took, and I got that job. And then Chris Lighty, who used to manage Busta Rhymes and Missy Elliott and all them, he gave me a call and asked me if I could do the Violator album cover. Yeah. And so I did that, and not knowing 20 years later how huge that was going to be. And
that's dope.
When I did that, then Phil Mob's manager, she called me, and then she asked if I would be willing to fly to Atlanta to watch these cats run around on a farm and then create an album for a cover for
Rudy that?
And
you did
now
that cover?
People are like going crazy, like loving that album. Like, yeah,
wow.
That was me.
I love that artwork, man. Wow.
Yeah, that's me. The pig with the gold tooth. Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
That's when I was deep into doing caricatures, man. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. And then at
the tail end of that's when the whole Prince thing happened, you know.
The Prince thing. Hold on. I don't know about the Prince thing. Tell me.
So Prince came to Illinois and was doing a show, but he also had a love for one another group, organization. They donated food to the city. When he visited the city, he would donate food to an organization. And place here in St. Louis was Dignity House. And so they asked me and another artist to put our work up. And the two young ladies that brought the food videotaped the show. And I guess at some point they took it back to him. And then I got a call from his people, and they said he saw some work he liked. And so he bought 3 pieces. And then a year later, his folks called again and said he wanted to know if he had some more work to show. And I sent more photos, and he bought 5 more and used one of those as a Rainbow Children album cover.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's dope.
It's weird. Most of my career has not been by solicitation at all. It's all just, I just work and just have trust, and jobs show up, man.
Trust the work, and the work works for you.
Pretty much. I'm going to steal that. That's right.
Trust the work, man. Trust the work, man. You put in some work. That's dope.
I'm being forced to rest right now, man, because yes, I will keep painting till my fingers bleed.
That's how you know you love it, man. You got a passion for it.
I do.
Yeah. What would you say to any young painters out there who are trying to break through, get their breakthrough, so they can start really making a living for themselves, doing what they love to do? What advice could you give them?
I mean, I know we hear it so much, man, because it's all out there and everybody's on hustle mode, but yeah, I mean, you definitely got to put in your 10,000 hours. You know, if you're weak at hands, you need to draw 1,000 hands. You just keep doing it. If you're weak at faces, don't run from them. Just start drawing them. And a lot of times too, people are imitating, and they might have the new dope style. I mean, Basquiat, man, people are getting millions for his paintings. You know, that cat intentionally drew like a child. You know, when it wasn't even cool. And so I think a lot of people might already have something. They just need to trust in it, but definitely got to put in the time and the work and look at other artists and borrow techniques. I mean, we steal from each other all the time. That's just the nature of art. You know, just like musicians sample, we see stuff we think is cool. Don't let it become your style, but figure out how you can take an ingredient here, an ingredient there, and come up with your own recipe, you know? Right.
Yeah, man.
But put in the work more than anything. Consistently,
yeah. Consistency, man. Consistency is what it's all about. A lot of people give up before they get that.
And don't worry, don't do it but for the money up front. You know, you gotta people need to feel that they're getting some value. So you just put in the work, make a good product, and then let people know you do it.
Yeah. Put in the work, and that work will work for you. It comes.
Absolutely.
Work speaks for itself. That's real.
That's right.
Real, man. Hey, well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you tonight, man. I learned a lot. I learned that you've done some dope stuff, some dope art. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Inspiring the children, too. That's the main thing. Please keep getting into these schools or wherever you can get to these kids and inspire them so they can know that it's out there, that it is part of the culture, and it drives the culture.
That's the goal, man.
Yeah, it's so important, man. Keep doing the work.
Absolutely.
Gotta keep blessing you too, brother.
Yeah, well, thank you for bringing me on your platform, man. I appreciate the exposure, man. This is all good.
Not a problem. I appreciate you coming on, man. For real.
Right on.
Yes. Hey, everybody. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you check out Kuh-bob-bi. It's Cbabi. It's right there under his face, right there. You can check him out on Instagram, Facebook.
Creative Black artist battling ignorance.
There you go. Check him out. Go support, buy some of his art. It's great work. I can't say it enough. It's great work. So until next time, episode 21 is on the way. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share it if you got some good nuggets out of this, and we'll be back next week. I thank you, brother, once again, man. And we're gonna leave with another performance of you whipping up some art while an artist plays, and then we'll take it on home.
Right on.
All right, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. Peace, man.
Good night.